There we go. So, you know, sometimes we just have to find an artist. So I'm not sure if we're getting in touch with Sasco or Assassin. So who do we have here?
Everybody there right now.
All right, we got the right people.
Yeah, man.
All right, so from 2001, Assassin, and somewhere in the 2010s, Agent Sasco. Was it I had to reinvent myself, or nah, me just make a change?
Well, it was a gradual thing. So, I guess from one persona to the next, and it's just a matter of giving an identity to the more mature version of Assassin. And I think in the natural scheme of things, it would have happened in terms of, maturity and growth without a name change or a different name for the more mature version. But it was necessary because of the limitations of the name Assassin. From the very connotations that's attached to it, and the negative connotations that is, and then just some limitations in terms of even search engine wise, I guess. Like things that started to become more important as time progressed. I mean, like, no, for example, my Twitter, Instagram, and website, and Facebook is Agent Sasco, just at
Right.
Agent Sasco without having to add the real Agent Sasco, or none of that. Is just boom. So it was necessary. I mean, you can imagine that you couldn't have that if you have the name Assassin, then you're gonna have to do the real Jamaican Assassin, because everything is all taken up. So it was necessary because of that, as well as me wanting to give a unique identifying name to my more mature self.
I like it. I like it. And the same way now you have the EP. And for those again in Jamaica, and we got a lot of people listening over there in Europe. This is the Sunsplash Mix. So there's people who say, well, so why is it an EP? So why we can't get like 10 more songs?
Yeah. All right. So to be fair with you, it started off as an album. Started actually working on it from as early as last August for a release that should have been early 2020. And then early 2020, Corona. And so, of course, this is all new territory to, well, anybody my age group, right? So, we don't know. I was thinking, yeah, it's another one of them scares. You have SARS, Ebola. If you don't want to have another scare, it will be a couple of months. It's going to be all done with, and then we're going to move on with life. Well, clearly that has not been the case. And so we had to, I guess, amend our strategy. And, we're trying to really, kind of time pedal when things going to be, close to, freedom of movement. And, at that time, I would love to have an album out. But right now, to be honest, it's kind of tough to, especially the way I go about music, spending a lot of time to work on it. And, you can't really share it with the people, so I actually, I spoke with the team, and, I even invited, the folks for tell me what they want, if they want to hold on on it and get them an album next year, or just get them an EP, as well as, if things, depending on how things shape up next year, then, could have an album ready, so that's why we went the EP route, just, put out what we have now. We have a couple more tracks as well that was kind of like, kind of, just strike a balance, and yeah.
I like it. I like it. There's almost, again, during this pandemic, you could almost say there's almost nothing that we can actually do that goes wrong, because now that we have time to sit down, and now that we had time to wait, you say, you know what, let me plan probably a full year. As yourself is as an example, sometimes it's discipline. It's just, before we get right into the EP, what is that discipline? I know family, man, wife, I tell you for get up, the picnic them, I tell you, say, yo, them hungry. But what is the actual discipline to be the artist, to be a dedicated artist?
So I'm now almost 20 years in, and over the years, discipline and having a work ethic and, a certain attitude towards not just music, but, attitude towards anything that I'm doing in terms of recognizing that, you pretty much get out what you put in. And then, the more time passes, is the more the stakes are raised because, I started off as a 17-year-old with no real responsibilities. I mean, I did what I could to, take care of my mother before I lost her and, be there for family and things like that. But, no chick, no child. So, you know what I mean? It's a different ball game when now, you have a family and things like that. So, as the stakes raise, I believe that you have to, rise to the occasion and raise your capacity with that, and that capacity also means discipline and your work ethics and all faculties. What you call it? Patience, wisdom, discernment. All of these things. You have to continue to grow, or else you're in trouble.
I like it. We're talking with Agent Sasco. That's who me I talk to right now. The growth of the man, and like you said, albums is under your belt. You have some albums, you have some bodies of work. There are some artists that still only have singles. That's neither here nor there. That's the path they wanted to take. And like you said, now the EP is Sasco versus Assassin. And I say, I'm not lean, but you know what I mean? Assassin depend. I have more assassin than I have Sasco. Let me tell
you. Everybody seems to be saying that, and I realized that basically that was one of the reasons for this project as well. People see me all the time, and they want to get back to that whole assassin thing, and I'm here to tell you, it's the assassin that a lot of people think of in terms of, me at 22. The only way to get that back is to go and listen to those records because, that's where I was at that stage of my development. And I'm not going back to that. As a matter of fact, I consciously decided at 17 when I was about to embark on music professionally to, not allow myself, to become stuck or to be wrapped up into that persona or of, and not just assassin, whatever it is, but of music. Like I am me, I'm not what I do. You know what I mean? So like I'm Jeffrey Campbell before Sasco or Assassin. And so in that regard, when people say that, like, yo, I understand where I'm coming from, and I understand, I Professor Nuts, for example, is a DJ of respect growing up, and man. Yesterday I was watching a Professor Nuts show, like it was, I remember Border Clash or something. This white top hat and my name call him on the stage, Tommy Cowan, and I watch the show, and I remember being a kid and just being fascinated with that, and that's how I have to enjoy it. I just so I understand that people, for the, I guess, nostalgia and whatever. And of course, Assassin is a different energy, yes, and all of them things. But I'm not trying to compete with the young guys of today, and I'm not trying to compete with Assassin as much as the EP says it, So for me, it's more of even defining the two characters and being clear about who is who and what is what. And then for me, embracing that, where I'm at in my development right now, and how I want to express myself is Sasco, and I just said there for now until I decide to I move on to something else totally.
I like it. His name is Agent Sasco. He's on with the Sunsplash Mix Show. I am the DJ. I am the host. I am Ja Prince. That first track, Sasco versus Assassin, that's first track we're going to talk about here. Produced by Toddler T. Very good, popular selector producer, UK side. First, I gotta find out who gets credit for the little melody in at the front, because some young people want some big up. So who did that little melody for the intro?
So that's my 9-year-old Lauren, and she's she's very much, you know, into the music. And Joshua as well, my son is usually in the studio paying attention to the mixes and thing, you know. So that's one of the best things of having the studio here at home.
Yeah.
You know, I really get to be a part of it, and it's not, you know, daddy's at work, you know, I'm here still, and you know, we get to share in that time just the same. So, you know, it really works. And it's, for me, it's just, you know, I can't explain what it means having them, you know, be a part of, you know, something that I love so much. Yeah.
I like it. In those lyrics, and yes, I was defending, big up all the selectors that, you know, when it was record shop and the 45 didn't come out, and we have to argue and we say, no man, Sasco take the rhythm. Like that was the thing. Sasco take the rhythm. In the lyrics of the song, you basically talk about some of the things we as the selectors used to argue. Now the man can't perform, you know, him no walk around with no chin, you know what I mean? Yeah, him bad lyrically, but you know, him no wicked. So how much of that like self-reflection? He was like, you know what, yeah, maybe I could have, you know, do like a dance earlier. Or it's like, nah.
So here's the thing, right? So once again, because of, you know, my personal development and so much of what I've learned over the years, I embrace all of it, and I wouldn't do anything differently. You know, I'm very, you know, looking back, it's all right. So it kind of feels like, how do you mean you wouldn't do anything differently? But you see, there are still lessons in all of that. So like, as the song says, winning right now, walking W, learn from the L's. You know, maybe if I never had, you know, that exact journey, then I wouldn't have right now learned the lessons that make me absolutely just grateful and happy, and I'm at a place mentally where, you know, it's great. It's a great place to be at, especially when I know what it's like to not be, you know, in a great place mentally, when, you know, going through frustration and all of that. And that only came when I wasn't doing what I really felt like doing inside, like, and having quote unquote success while doing it too. So you kind of, you know, you're just not finding, you know, real fulfillment in what you're doing, but yet still, you know, it's, you know, like I said, people think it should be you know, whatever. So you know, it's so this song is really looking back at that journey in a very objective way, you know, like, at one point I wasn't performing at any standard for talk about, and it's great because hearing that and recognizing that myself at that time led me to working on it till so now I'm widely regarded as one of the you know, the better performers. And so, you know, like I said, some realities allow you to work on things, and, you know, like I said, I embrace it all, you know.
Yeah, I like it. One thing about what's happening in Jamaica, there's the joke, there's the hashtag on all these social media platforms. Jamaica is not a real place, because there's some things that happen in Jamaica. We have to, again, be critical. You know, other people from outside, they look at the culture and say, oh my gosh, you know, that place. But Jamaica is a real place. We have some issues. And some of our young people are seeing some things that young people cannot filter out and digest. You have a song, No Stranger to Danger. There were some things in life that Assassin could say, like, you know what, I did learn from it, but I for my next generation and my kids, I wish they didn't have to see those things. So to talk about No Stranger to Danger.
So No Stranger to Danger, it's a song inspired by several things. One of those being acknowledging that my life could have gone very differently, because, you know, I was in, you know, I grew up in a place where, you know, life has been very different for, you know, a lot of my peers and people that I grew up with, and it's not because of music necessarily. It's just, you know, a series of things that just led me away from that, with the first thing being, you know, my mother and my father, and just, the family that was around me, and then, going to school and just, thankfully gravitating towards, the things that would lead you out, away from danger than to it.
Yes.
But that being said, just being in the community and being, in certain situations, danger is just, a part of it. Is just woven
exactly.
in. But it is underscoring the fact that, even we know it, but we never pursued it. I remember I did some work now with for the last few years with a juvenile, for lack of a better term, a juvenile detention center, pretty much, Metcalf, Juvenile Center. And in one of the mentoring sessions, I had this event pretty much, and invited a couple of my friends, them, I think, who did go there, Mr. Peter Melado and Chris Daring, and I've invited Asafa down there and things like that. And
nice.
I think it was Chris Daring who said, any one of us, be it me, him, most of the quote unquote mentors who would pass through somewhere like that, any one of us could easily have been in a facility like that at 17, right, if it wasn't for just some fortuitous roll of the dice, So, I mean, yeah, easily. So it's almost acknowledging that, like, we know danger, but it's not celebrating it in a way like, me are the best. No, like, no, like, I'm not. No, it's not about that. It's about saluting the fact that, yeah, you could have gone a certain way, and thankfully that wasn't the case.
I like it. And at the same time, we are now at a mature level. We were always looking out for our community. We're looking out for our city. We're looking out for our country. We look for the continent. I understand when we see something like that. We see our own youth. We see ourselves in these young men, and we want to be critical. And just like you said, you spend a little more time. It's not always your responsibility to help the youths then, but you take some time out. What else can we do to get them grounded? Because some people are gonna say, no, leave it to the politician then,
No, well, first of all, it is absolutely every one of our responsibilities to help the youth them. That's first thing. Secondly, I don't see them as the youth them that need to be fixed. I see them as how we produce them is we, the youth that never appear out of space, like them ship them in from some other planet. Right. That's us, and so I appreciate the opportunity to actually work with them and reason with them and see, like, just get a real insight into where their mind is at, because a lot of people, including myself before, would be critical of the youth them without understanding what's behind them actions and them thinking, So I think it would serve us very well, as it has served me, to try and get to know them. And don't mean get to know them with judgment at the forefront of your mind, but really get to know them and really understand that we all are a result of our exposure. And so if give thanks if you have a certain level of exposure to recognize certain things and know certain things or whatever, and a lot of these youth, them they just don't have that. So at the very least we can try share another perspective with them and give them more frame of reference. And the really surprising thing, I don't even say surprising, but one thing that I found to be great about the whole thing is that they are receptive. Before you'd assume that they wouldn't be, I don't know, but they are very receptive to it. Once you're sincere about it,
Yeah, you can feel that their heart is in it when they're listening to you and they're watching you and say, you know what, me know me get to that one there. Or a couple of them.
Well, and here's the next thing too. Like I said, it's more about is more like there is no getting to necessarily. What I find is just a matter of, you know, talking with them and once again just even sharing a perspective. It's not even like I'm gonna tell you this and you must do that, do what I say, or it means that you're not fixed. It's just a matter of, listen, if you think that the only way to get from Papine to Half a Tree is Hope Road, I'm here to tell you that you could have drive around the sun. You know, that's pretty much it. That's just saying, listen, guys, there's another way here. And, you know, now you know. So, you know.
I like it. I like it.
That's it. That's it.
That's Agent Sasco right there. We only have him for a couple of minutes. Right there, he mentioned some areas. Big up Jamaica. It is a big country, but like me say, it's not a real place sometimes.
Big Israeli thing still, you know. Some people that say not really, but yo, a little bit of Talawa.
I like it. I like it. In one of the songs we're about to mention, we know that Chronixx says Spanish Town. Literally, more people just big up Spanish Town from out of nowhere. And Assassin / Agent Sasco, you always say Kentire? Is that still it?
Yeah, but guess what I know? You know, say Spanish Town is also a significant part of my upbringing because, you know, my mother and my father separated from us too, and my father lived in a place in St. Catherine, which you have to get the taxi and the bus from Spanish Town. So, you know, I have to go through Spanish Town quite often and, you know, walk from, and when you come out of the town bus, you have to walk through the town to get to the other.
Have to. Exactly.
So yeah, so Spanish Town is also, you know, a part of, like I said, my story. But I live primarily with my mother, and that is in that was in Kintire, Papi inside Tavan, Kintire, you know, banks of the Hope, you know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know people, and not just because if you're from New York and you gotta big up the boroughs, and you're from Jamaica, sometimes you have to really big up some place, you know. So just like you're just mentioning Papine, you know how much people them like happy right now, you know, say Papine, you know.
Yeah, man, the whole of Papine and Tavan, Augustown, Standpipe, Garden Town, Augustown. Yes, yeah, man.
I like it. The
name, big up. Yeah, man.
Name of the song on this EP is called Represent, featuring Chronixx. Fanatics. Like everybody's now here. We know Izzy. Are you kidding me? But now we hear Fanatics. You get Fanatics on one of your tracks. That's good, man.
Yeah, man. And the banging too. As a matter of fact, it was during Notting Hill Carnival. I was over there, and that song, as you can imagine, was inspired by you know, being on the parade and seeing people from our walks of life with them flags and things. So that's what inspired that song. So I actually left the parade and went straight to the studio. I don't know how I did that. I mean, it was exhausting, but you know, music, you know. I'm definitely happy with the result of it. And then of course, Chronixx forward, you know, and just, you know, slaughter a verse. Yeah.
Man, I like it. And like you said, MC to MC, artist to artist. When you say slaughter a verse, I like it.
Yeah, man. That was I'm going. Yeah, man.
Yeah. I like the thing. And just like you said, diversity. So let's go on to do my thing. So you and Sean Paul, I don't know, because you know sometimes we have to play media. So I am the media. I don't know, how did Agent Sasco find Sean Paul, or how did Sean Paul link up with one?
So guess what, you know?
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, when I so this is now year 19 of my journey, and you know, over the years, it's just been respect to especially the players that I, you know, saw when I started, you know, going to studios and pursue this thing, like Sean Paul being one of them. And you know, then it goes without saying that for what Sean has contributed to the industry, it's just respect due, you know.
Right.
And then from them time till now, it's just always respect. And so when I reach out to him, like, yo, Sean, I have this project working on, and before, like, so I type like one message, and then as I'm about to type the next one, man just type ready. Because, you know, once again, you know, I think I've demonstrated over the years that, you know, I take music serious, and, you know, I approach the art form with a certain level of, you know, respect and thing. And, you know, it was, you know, more than happy to do it. And, you know, of course, it's Sean Paul, man, all we can say. And it's the first time I record together too. So, I mean, on a project, a collab like that, we're on a remix together. The remix, it's Praga and Chiching, but So the first time, you know, we get to do something by ourselves.
I like it. And one of the lyrics, you know, people are gonna say what them want to say, but do your thing, yeah, man.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. That's
serious.
And it's something I'm gonna get to learn, you know, like, you know, that's basically what you live by. You have to do your thing, and especially now when we are so exposed, for lack of a better term, to what people have to say. Everybody have a mouthpiece now, and you know, have all kind of platforms that say what they must say. So you really have to understand, say, you know, you can't get bogged down and all of that. You have to just do your thing.
I like it. Select the Princess is in Jamaica. She's lining up a couple more of these interviews. We got one more song. The name is Loco. She just pushing on my ears. Make sure I said the man big up Weezy. So big up Weezy.
Yeah, man, Weezy in general. Big up yourself. Yeah, Weezy going on the remix video there. So yeah. Also big up Bounty Killer, Kabaka on the remix. Big up all the artists them who record on the juggling as well. You know, Iwater, Elephant, Mr. Williams, Kelly, and of course Chronix. And then we have a couple more tracks forward into. So big up Teflon, you know, incredible production and thing, and you know, there's a wicked dance already.
I like it. That was it. Just a couple of minutes with Agent Sasco. I got to tell him how much I rate Assassin, but you know what I mean? When I'm at work, I listen to Agent Sasco. When I have to lift box, Assassin.
Yeah, man. Love and respect, man. Yo, bless you. Give thanks. All right.
Man.